Hey there, everybody. It's time for a game of inside pitch baseball. Is the old saying in the song for center field by John Fogerty goes, it's time to give this game another ride. So been playing a few practice games, hopefully getting better on the rules, especially base runner advancement. So I'm going to give it a shot, and I decided to pick out Game 4 of the 1976 World Series between the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees. These are the as-played lineups. See Ed Figueroa on the bump for the Yankees. He'll be starting off against Pete Rose. Gary Nolan will be the starter for the Reds. So we'll get going here. Ed Figueroa is going to start things off against Pete Rose. It's a 3-2. 3-2 on Figueroa is blank, which means we go to Pete Rose's card for the final tally. It is a 6-4. And I'm trying a new setup. Hopefully these cards will stay up. Hope is the operative word. If I can get Ed Figueroa to stay up there. All right, 6-4 for Pete Rose is a double to center field. So just like that, right off the get-go, Pete Rose, leadoff double. Brings up Ken Griffey. Figueroa, a 1, oops, can't see it on the camera very well, 1-6. Maybe we need to back this up just a hair. 1-6 on Figueroa. It's a possible walk, and Ken Griffey has a walk rating of 12. It's subtract 2 for Yankee Stadium, makes it a 10, but that's a 3 on the D20, so he will walk. And Figueroa in hot water already. The last thing you want to do is let Griffey and Rose get on base for the big guys coming up, and little Joe Morgan, will get the opportunity to be the first one to drive somebody home. It's a 6-3. 6-3 off Figueroa is a star line, so that's going to be an out. So we'll roll and see what the out is on the star line. It's a 6. That's a fly ball to right. That's one away. Now the question is, can Rose go to third? And would he even want to attempt to go to third? That's the other question. Right fielder's arm. Right fielder is Gamble. He's got a +1 arm, so a little below standard. Let's check the fly ball out. Runner on second. Let's see here. If 1d6 less than or equal to the adjusted BR, advance to third, otherwise hold. All right, so the adjusted BR, well, he said it's a +1 for Gamble, and the BR rating of the lead runner Rose is a 3, so that gives him a 4. So if this D6 is a 4 or less, he will go to third. And it is, so fly ball to right, but Pete Rose is going to tag and go to third. That's one away for Tony Perez. Cleanup hitter. Tony Perez against Figueroa with runners at the corners and one out. Infield at double play depth, 1-3. That's a potential strikeout. That's a 4. The strikeout for Perez is an 11. You lose 3 on Yankee Stadium, makes it an 8, but the 4 is well within that range. So it's a big strikeout for Figueroa. And now he's going to face the designated hitter, Dan Dreesen, try to get out of the inning. 1-1 is a double question mark, and that's a 1. So a double question mark, if it's a 1-3 against a lefty, you get a star line out. That's a 1. So that is a star line out. The only question is what kind of a star line. It's a 5. It's a ground ball to short, handled by Stanley. And somehow or another, Figueroa pitches around all that mess and gets out of it with no runs scored. So Reds threaten, come away empty. We go to the bottom of the first. And coming in to pitch for Cincinnati is Gary Nolan. And stepping to the plate for the Yankees, it'll be leadoff hitter Mickey Rivers. So Rivers is in there to face Nolan. First pitch is a 3-6 for Nolan. And a 3-6 is a strikeout chance. It's an 18 on the D20 though, so that's not going to work. It's too high. Way above Rivers' strikeout rating, even with and the ballpark doesn't help him either. So. All right, we got a 5-1 on Rivers' card. That's a question mark 9. Against a right-hander, a question mark 9 with a number 7 on the D20 is a double. So Mickey Rivers is going to lead things off with a double, much like Pete Rose did to start the game for the Reds. So it's a leadoff double, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Roy White. Roy White steps in. And that's a 1-2 for Nolan. That's against a lefty because White is a switch hitter. Lefty is a walk chance. His walk rating is an 18, but you lose 2 for Yankee Stadium, drops it to a 16. The 19 is out of range. So we go to White's card. And White's card, a 2-5, is a fly to left, and you're not going to advance on a fly to left very well, I don't believe, but we'll check it because Rivers does have good speed. So fly out, F7, it says no advance. So there you go. So they're not even going to let him. It's a definite no advance. So 1 down, and that brings up the captain, Thurman Munson, captain of the Yankees. He's in there now to face Gary Nolan with Rivers still at second and 1 away. It's a 5-4 for Nolan, which is a range play at the ballpark. So it's a range play at Yankee Stadium. And we get a 6-5. 6-5 is a single to right field, but we're checking the range because Griffey could catch that. Griffey's range is only a 1 though, so not likely. And it's not, so that's going to fall in. Now we'll check a failed range play on a S9. So an S9 failed range play. Failed range play on an S9. Just says 1 base hit. It just says it's base hit. It doesn't give anything about extra bases, at least not that I can see. But we're gonna the runner Rivers is on second, so he could try to score on the single. So go back to runner advancement from second to home on an S9. You get 1 extra to your BR rating, and Rivers already has a pretty good BR rating. His BR rating for Rivers is a 4, so if this is a 5 or anything other than a 6, he will come in to score on the single. And it's a 3, so that's a base hit that's going to score the run. And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. And please, if I'm doing any of these incorrectly, please let me know, and I will recheck my rules and get more practice in. But from what I've played so far, these are the understandings I have. All right, so Munson with the RBI single brings up Chris Chambliss. That is a 5-3 off of Nolan, and that's a strikeout chance against a lefty. Strikeout, though, for Chambliss against a righty is a 9. 17 is way above that, plus you lose 3 from the stadium, so no way on that one. 4-2 off Chambliss. Starline 3, so we'll check Starline 3. Gary Nolan, that's a 3. That's a ground ball to second. Could be a double play. We'll check the double play rating. Chambliss is a 2. And the pivot man, Concepcion, is a 0. I'm sorry, he's a +1. That gives him a 3. And the pitcher, Nolan, doesn't have anything to add to it. So it's a 3. So a 1, 2, or 3, it's a double play. It is a 3. It's a double play. So that goes 4, 6, 3 to end the inning. But the Yankees do pick up a run. And at the end of 1, it is Yankees 1 and Reds nothing. Top of the second, Figueroa facing George Foster. It's a 2-2 on Figueroa. That's a strikeout chance. That's a 13. Foster's a 10. -3 on the stadium's a 7, so that fails. So we go to Foster's card. It's a 3-4 for Foster. That's a single past the shortstop, so it's a leadoff single for Foster. And the Reds have base runners again for Mr. Blue Emu himself, Johnny Bench. Where's Blue Emu and doesn't stink? 6-1 is a potential. Let's see, it's not. I'm sorry, it's a blank. It's not a potential anything. It's a blank. So we're going to Bench's card. 5-5 is a Starline 4. So Starline 4 on Figueroa is a ground ball to third. This could be a double play. Bench has a 3. Figueroa is a -1 though, knocks it to a 2. And the pivot man Randolph is a +1, so that brings it to a 3. That's a 1. It's a double play. So that is A 5-4-3 around the horn, double play, double up bench. All of a sudden its 2 out space is empty for Cesar Geronimo. Geronimo against Figueroa. It's a 2-6. That's a walk plus. He walks at a 10. You lose 2 for the stadium, makes it an 8. But that plus 10 makes it an 18, and the 16 is within that, so that is a walk. 2 out walk to Geronimo brings up the number 9 hitter, Dave Concepcion. Concepcion, a 5-5 off of Figueroa. That is a ballpark check on Yankee Stadium. That's a 2-3. 2-3 on Yankee Stadium. It's a single to left. So a single to left. Now Geronimo, let's see, can he go to third on a single to left? You lose 2 on your BR rating. You get 1 because there's 2 outs, so it's a -1 aggregate. He's already a 3, so that makes him a 2. So this would have to be a 1 or a 2 to get to third. It's a 2. He does get to third. How about that? So with 2 outs, Geronimo sneaks over to third base. Runners at the corners with 2 outs for Pete Rose. Chance to put the Reds on the board. It's a 2-1 against Figueroa. It's a range play at Yankee Stadium. And that's a 6-4. 6-4 for Yankee Stadium is a ground ball to second, so we're checking a range play on Willie Randolph. He's a 5, and he made the play, so that's going to take care of Rose and the Reds here in the second inning with no score. They threaten again, but once again come up empty. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 in favor of the Yankees. And DH Carlos May will be up to bat against Gary Nolan. That is a 5-3 for Nolan. 5-3 against a lefty is a strikeout chance. Strikeout from May against a righty is an 8. He loses 3 on the stadium is a 5. The D20 is a 9, so no strikeout. We go to May's card. It's a 6-6. That's a star line 6, which is a fly to center on Gary Nolan's card for 1 away. So 1 down for the Yankees. 1 away. And that's going to bring up Greg Nettles. So Greg Nettles will be up against Nolan. So 1-6 on Nolan is a single to pass the pitcher if he's tired, but he's not tired. So treat it as a blank and go straight to Nettles. Nettles, a 3-3, is a star line 5, which is a fly to left. So we had a fly to center, and now a fly to left. 2 down, and it'll bring up the recently passed away Oscar Gamble. Mainly known for the Indians, but he did play for the Yankees in '76. 3-5 for Nolan is an error throw possibility. So if there's a throwing play, there could be an error. Go to Gamble's card. It's a 4-1. 4-1 is a star line 1. That's a fly to center. There is no throw there. So the inning is over. So the Yankees go 1-2-3 in the second. We go to the top of the third. Still 1-0 in favor of the Yankees, and Ken Griffey steps to the plate against Figueroa. Griffey walked his first time. 4-4 on Figueroa is blank, so we go to the Griffey card. And Griffey at 2-5 is a ground ball to first, handled by Chambliss. 1 away. Brings up little Joe Morgan. 5-6 off of Figueroa is a range play. So we'll see who the range is calling on. 3-5 on Morgan. Starline 3. That is a ground ball to second. So we're calling on Randolph, and he's got a range of 5. So good chance he's going to make that play, and he does. So 2 up, 2 down on 2 ground balls, and here's Tony Perez. Perez 2-1 on Figueroa is a range play at Yankee Stadium. So we go to the stadium card. It's a 4-6, and that's a range play on a star line 6. That's the fly to right, so we're checking the right fielder Gamble. He's got a range of 3. That's a 2, so he makes the play And down go the Reds here in the third, as they cannot get it done. And my little field's moving around. And for anybody that's curious and recognizes that, you should recognize that as a payoff pitch play mat. For those of you who know payoff pitch. So let's see here. Let's get everything organized for the bottom of the third. It'll be Willie Randolph, the number 8 hitter, coming to the plate against Gary Nolan. 1-0 ball game. Bottom of the third. We're underway in the bottom of the third. 6-3 off Nolan is a blank, so we go to Randolph's card. And Randolph's a 3-6. That's a ground ball to third. Pete Rose is there to put it away. One away for Fred Chicken Stanley, the shortstop. Stanley, a 5-4 off of Nolan, is a range play at the stadium. And we get a 4-2. That's a single with a chance to get to center or get to second on a double. But we got a range play first to see if Geronimo can get it. He's only a 2. I thought he had better range than that, but maybe in 76 he was slowing down. But he makes the play anyway. It's a 1, so that's going to take away everything. That's a fly to center for out number 2. And I'm hoping I'm doing that correctly. Range play should have taken that away since we were checking the range. All right, here is Mickey Rivers. Doubled and scored his first time up. 2-4 on Nolan is a star line. So let's see what the star line is for the out. It is a 2. Star line 2 is a fly to right, handled by Griffey. And the inning's over. So we go to the 4th. We go straight to the 4th inning. Still 1-0 in favor of the Yankees. And Figueroa back out on the bump. And he'll be facing DH Dan Dreesen. This was the first World Series. I think it back with second World Series. I think the Dodgers World Series in '74 against the A's was the first one to use the DH. But this one was obviously a DH game as well. So that is a 6-6 off of Figueroa. 6-6 is an error question mark. Go to the card of Dreesen, 3-4. 3-4 is a single to right. So I think we need to still check and make sure Gamble didn't boot it as well. Gamble's a E4, so anything above a 4, he will get it. He will make the play, and he does. So Dreesen held to a single. Leadoff single brings up George Foster, left fielder. 4-2 on Figueroa. 4-2 is another range play. Little Foster's card. It is a 2-2. And that's a star line 2, which is a F8. So we're checking the range on Mickey Rivers. Rivers is a 5, so he can get to him. And he gets to that one as well very easily. So it's a fly to center. One away. One away, and that brings up Johnny Bench. Mr. Krylon himself. No runs, no drips, no errors. Mr. Baseball Bunch, too, if you remember that show. All right, here's Figueroa. 4-3. 4-3 is a walk chance. Bench walks at a 17, but you lose 2 for the stadium. It's a 15. That's an 18, so there's no walk. He'll have to earn it. 1-3, and he does, and he flies to right. That's out number 2. And Dreesen, let's see what his run rating is. Should have written these down, I guess. Dreesen's a BR4, so he's got a chance to go to third here on that fly to right. And on the fly to right, it's just the BR rating. There is no subtraction of any kind. So if it's a 1-4, he goes to third. It is a 5, so he didn't. He has to hold. So now it's going to bring up Roy White. I'm sorry, that's going to bring up, I've got the wrong team batting. It's going to bring up Geronimo. So Geronimo steps up, 6-4. Figueroa, 6-4 is a ballpark effect. Check. 6-4 for the ballpark is a G4, and that's going to end the inning as he grounds to Randolph. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still Yankees clinging to a 1-0 lead against the Reds. And Gary Nolan taking his spot back out on the bump. And now Roy White will get to come up and lead off in the fourth. He flew to left his first time. 3-5 for Gary Nolan. 3-5 is an error on the throw possibility. It's a question mark there. That is a 3-4 on Roy White. That's a star line 5, and that's a fly to left, so there is no throw to worry about. It's simply a fly to Foster and left, one away. Brings up Thurman Munson. He had the RBI single his first time. It's 2-2 off of Nolan, and that's a range play. So we'll see who's called upon for his range. It is, whoops, let's bring it up here, 6-1. Munson is ground ball to third. Ground ball to third. And that's going to be Pete Rose. And Pete Rose's range, let's check Pete Rose's range. He's a 3. That's a 5. He will not make the play. It's a base hit. So Munson snuck it by him. Make sure it's just a single and not a chance for anything else. Failed range check on a G5 is a number 5. So we are going to check roll 1d6. If it's a 5 or 6, it's a double. It is a 1, so it's going to stay a single. Had it been a 5 through a 6, Munson would have been able to, would have said he would have pulled it down the line for a double, but it's just a single, but still he'll take it. He's 2 for 2. And that's going to bring up Chris Chambliss. Getting to the double play is the first time up. 5-1 for Nolan is a strikeout chance, but Chambliss is only a 9. That's an 18, plus you lose 3 on the stadium, so it's not even close. Chambliss, a 2-1, is a liner to second, and that's out number 2. Bringing up the DH, Carlos May. Carlos come what may. 6-6 is a strikeout chance for Nolan. It's only an 8 though. -3 is a 5, and that's a 13, so no strikeout there. Now we have a 6-2 on Carlos May. It's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing in the fourth for the Pinstripers. We go to the fifth. Still 1-0. Kind of surprisingly low-scoring game. Here's Concepcion, and he'll be in there against Figueroa, who's so far managed to get through the Reds lineup without any runs. 2-6. 2-6 for Figueroa is a walk plus. So that's definitely going to do it because you got 16 on the D20. That makes it a 26. So that's definitely, even though you lose 2 on the ballpark, it really doesn't matter. Still a 24. So that's pretty much an automatic walk. So now we're back to the top of the order, and Pete Rose and the Reds pretty much have been skirting around scoring a run every inning, but just haven't done it. It's a 5-1 for Figueroa. That's a walk chance again. It's a 12. Pete Rose is a 13, but the stadium is a -2, so that makes him 11. So he will not walk. We'll go to Rose's card. 1-5. It's a G1, so possible double play. He is a 3. And on a G1, let's see who the pivot guy is. If it's short or, let's see here. G1, if it's a left-handed batter, the pivot guy is a shortstop. So, pivot man is Stanley. He's a 0. So it's a 3, and Figueroa is -1 is a 2. So this has to be a 2 in order for it to be a double play. It is not. It's a 3. So therefore, he will, let's see here. Is he ground to a fielder's choice, or is there a chance of getting an advancement here? Let's see here. Greater than the first BR runner than force at second. All right, so the BR of the runner, Concepcion, he's a 3, and that is a 3. So what happens when they're the same? They're not this. It's not greater than. Roll greater than run on first, BR than force at second. It's not greater than. It's the same. So I'm guessing then that it's. I'm thinking that should be a throw to first only, so that's the way I'm going to interpret it. So Rose is out 1-3. Concepcion does go to second. So he's in scoring position with 1 out. And if I'm doing that incorrectly, please again let me know. Here's Griffey. Griffey, a 4-2. Figueroa, blank. So we go to Griffey's card. 5-4. 5-4 is a grounder to short. Alright, runner's at second, so the play is to first for out number 2. And I don't believe he can get to second base. Runner on second. Alright, so we still check it though, because if this is a low number like a 2 or 1 or 2, he'll make it to third. 5, it's above 3, so he'll have to hold it second. So frozen the runner there. It's 2 outs for Joe Morgan. That's a 2-3 off Figueroa, and that's a walk plus. And little Joe liked to walk. He was already at 22 on his card. Walk plus just exacerbates it that much, if that's a word. Exacerbates it, maybe is the correct word. All right, here's Tony Perez. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Perez, a 1-4 on Figueroa, is a possible strikeout. The strikeout's an 11, so is the D20, but the -3 for the stadium gets him off the hook. So we go to Perez's card. That's a 4-1. It's a grounder to short, and the inning is over. So nothing doing there for the Reds. Again, they threaten, as they've done pretty much the whole game, but they come away empty. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still 1-0 Yanks. And leading off will be Greg Nettles for the Yankees. That is a 3-5 on Nolan, and that's an error throw possibility. And a 2-1 on Nettles is a Starline 1, which is a fly to center, so there is no error throw possibility on a fly ball to center. It's just 1 away. And it brings up Oscar Gamble. Gamble, a 5-3, and that is a strikeout chance against a lefty. Gamble is a 9, but you lose 3 for the stadium, makes him a 5, so that drops him below the 8. Or makes him a 6 rather, drops him below the 8. So go to Gamble's card. 5-3 is a fly to right, 2 down. Yes, I did go to public school, but I can still count. All right, Willie Randolph. 5-6. Nolan, 5-6 is a blank on a righty. 3-3 for Randolph, and that's a question mark 7, but against a righty it only goes up to 8. That's a 16, so it's a fly to left, and the inning is over. So nothing doing for the Yankees in the 5th. We go to the 6th, still 1-0. You got to figure the Reds are going to be breaking through here shortly. They're coming close every inning, as Figueroa is kind of living on the edge. And he's going to start out facing Dan Dreesen, the DH. That's a 5-2 on Figueroa. It's a strikeout chance, and a good one with that D20 being a 3. That will be a strikeout. So he is gone, and that'll bring up George Foster. Reds are hoping that Foster is Australian for a home run. 1-4 for Figueroa is another strikeout chance, but that's a 19 on a D20, so that's not going to happen. Check Foster's card. 2-3. It's ground ball to short, and that's 2 away. So 2 up, 2 down for Mr. Johnny Bench. He's certainly capable of hitting a dinger. He hit 2 in this game in real life. 6-3. Figueroa, 6-3 is a star line. So we figure out what the star line is. It's a 4, and that's a ground ball to Nettles at third. Handled easily over there, and that's it for the Reds here in the 6th. They still get nothing. Figueroa has shut them out through 6. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Gary Nolan trots back out there. And Fred Chicken Stanley will lead things off. I'm not sure why they called him Chicken Stanley. They just did. That was his nickname. Maybe he liked to eat chicken or something. I don't know. Maybe if somebody knows, they can tell me. 4-3 is a ballpark check with that @ sign. Check Yankee Stadium. It's a 5-4. And that's a star line. I'm sorry, it's a question mark 9 for Stanley against a right-hander. And that's a 5, so it's a single for Fred Stanley. So Stanley helping him do things right with that base hit. Brings up Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers, a 6-6 on Nolan as a strikeout, and with a 3, even the -3 from Rivers, it's a 7, -3 is a 4. That's still going to fall into the strikeout range. So Rivers down on strikes, and that's a big out there for Gary Nolan. Roy White, 1-6. He's not tired, so there's no single there. We're just going to go to White's card. White, a 2-6 is a G3, and so we got a possibility of a double play here. Double play rating of White is 2 plus 1 for 0 for Nolan makes that a 3. And let's see, the double play rating of the pivot man, or I'm saying the pivot man in this case is the shortstop Concepcion. That's a 1. So that makes it a 3. 1 to 3, it's a double play. It's a 6, so that's an automatic runner goes to second and batter out play. So that is a 3 unassisted for out number 2. Stanley will go to second. He's in scoring position with 2 outs for Thurman Munson. Munson, a 2-1 on Nolan, is a blank against a right-hander. Munson, a 3-4, is a question mark 8. Question mark center, but his question mark only goes to 15. That's a 17, so he's going to fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Yankees. After 6 complete, it is still 1-0. And now you got to start looking at fatigue ratings. As Figueroa has 32, so he's still pretty good. He's only faced 25 batters so far, so he's good to go for now. Here's Geronimo. 5-3 is a S1, and he's not tired, so it's not an S1. So we go to Geronimo. Oops, and Geronimo, a 5-2 for Geronimo. 5-2 is a line drive to second, 1 away. So Geronimo is out of there. Brings up the number 9 man, Concepcion. Concepcion, a 2-2 off of Figueroa. 2-2 is a strikeout chance. The D20 is an 18, however, so there is no strikeout. Go to Concepcion. Concepcion, a 5-2 is a fly to right. So 2 down. Back to the top of the order for Pete Rose. But Figueroa somehow managing to get through this lineup. This will be his 4th trip through the lineup, so see if he can do it 4 times. 5-4 for Figueroa is an error ground out possibility. See what Pete Rose does. If he gets it in the air, there won't be any issue. 5-1, he did hit it in the air. He flew to center, so that's going to end the inning. And Figueroa has thrown 7 shutout innings at the Big Red Machine. And we go to the 7th inning stretch. It's still 1-0. Gary Nolan can face 28 batters before he gets tired. Right now he's faced only 21, so he's even fresher than Figueroa because he hasn't been in trouble that much. He gave up that 1 run in the first, and that's been about it. Here's Chambliss, 4-3 against Nolan, is a strikeout chance, and that's a 5. So Chambliss is a 9, minus the 3 is a 6. That's still going to be a strikeout. So 1 away, and that's going to bring up DH Carlos May. Strange factoid about Carlos May is not with the Yankees, but I believe with the White Sox, he's the only player to wear his birth date on his jersey because he was number 20 and he was born May 20th. So that was kind of an interesting little factoid that I found on the old baseball cards one time. I think that's correct. Somebody double check me if it's not. 4-5 for Nolan is an error on a throw possibility. Or as Casey Stengel said, you can look it up. 1-6 is a single pass second for Carlos May. So a 1-out single. And that will bring up Greg Nettles. 2-1 off Nolan. And that's a star line against the left-hander. So we'll see what the star line is. It's a 4. That's a grounder to short. Could be 2. Nettles is a 2. Nothing on Nolan. The pivot rating of Morgan is a 0. You'd think it'd be more, but it's a 0. So it's a 2 only But that's enough. That will do it. It's a 6-4-3 double play, and we are done here in the 7th. So Yankees and Reds fighting it out here. In this World Series Game 4. It'll be Ken Griffey to lead off the top of the 8th. And Figueroa still going strong. He can go up, like I said, up to 32 batters. And right now he has faced 28. So, but you do have Sparky Lyle in the bullpen ready to go if need be. 5-5 for Figueroa, and that's a ballpark check. In fact, Sparky Lyle is loosening the bullpen right now. 1-6 for Griffey. I'm sorry, 1-6 for the ballpark is a Starline 5, and that's a grounded to short. One away. You may not need Mr. Sparky Lyle if Figueroa keeps this up. Here's Joe Morgan, but one swing of the bat can change everything. 1-5 is a Starline, so we'll see what the Starline out is. It's a 3. That is a grounder to second for Morgan. 2 down. Brings up tough Tony Perez. Perez, a 2-6, and that's a walk plus. So that's a definitive walk. Because you add 10, and he was already at a 9. That makes him a 19. Minus 2 is a 17, and that's a 5. So definitive walk there. And let's see here. That brings up Dan Dreesen. Dreesen, a 5-3 on Figueroa. He's not tired, so we skip that. Go straight to Dreesen, and that's a 3-4. That's a single to right field, so base hit there, and with 2 outs, let's see if Perez can get to third. He's a BR2, but he's going to add 1 for there being 2 outs. That makes him a BR3, and then he's going to add 2 more from going from first to third, so that's a BR5. So unless this is a 6, he'll go to third. It is a 5, he makes it. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs for George Foster. So this is probably the best threat the Reds have had in quite some time. And they got a big man up there, George Foster. Here's Figueroa. 2-6 is a walk plus, so he's going to walk another one, and that's going to walk the bases loaded for Johnny Bench. And you wonder if they take Figueroa out when he's pitching a shutout, but he is struggling. Sparky Lyle is ready, but you have a right-hander against a right-hander, so they're going to let him face Johnny Bench. 6-2, and that's a possible home run chance. And against a right-hander, that passes that check because of a 5. So now we're going to roll him Bench. He's a 15. There's no adjustment on the ballpark. If this is a 1 through 15, we got a grand slam home run. And we do. That was a 3. So it's a grand salami for Johnny Bench as art imitates life, and Johnny Bench clubs a big home run to put the Yankees up put the Reds up 4-1, and Figueroa just lost it all in here in the 8th inning. He is gone, and Sparky Lyle will come in, but 1 batter too late, obviously, as the Yankee fans dejected quite a bit, obviously. 2 outs, bases empty, and it'll be Cesar Geronimo, lefty on lefty against Sparky Lyle. 2-5 for Lyle is a range play at Yankee Stadium. And we've got a 3-4. 3-4 is a home run pull. Home run pull. So the Geronimo is a home run 1. So that 9's going to fail that. So it will not be a home run. It'll simply be a fly to, I believe that's going to just simply be a fly to right. Double check the ruling on that just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure when you fail that home run pull, it's simply a fly to right or to your pull field. Yep, it's a fly out. So that's going to end the inning. Sparky Lyle gets him out of that, but it is the damage was done. It's a 4-1 lead for the Reds. And Gary Nolan now given new life with this lead. And you got the bullpen working, Pedro Borbon and Will McEnany both loosening in the Reds bullpen. But right now they're going to go ahead and let Nolan keep going. He has only faced 24 batters, and he's capable of facing 28. So but he's on a short leash. Here's Gamble. 1-3 strikeout, but 18's too high. I mean, we saw what the short leash did for, or the not short leash did for Figueroa, so they're going to not learn that lesson twice. 5-3 on Gamble is a fly to right. One away, and that'll bring up Billy Randolph. So Randolph is up against Nolan. It's a 3-2. That's a home run check. So home run check, but that's an 18 and only a 2 for Randolph, so no home run. So we go to Randolph's card, 5-4, and that's a fly to right. So 2 up, 2 down, and that brings up Fred Chicken Stanley. Stanley, a 4-3 off of Nolan. 4-3 is a ballpark check. Check Yankee Stadium. 2-4. 2-4 is a home run pull, but it's got to be a 4 to be a home run. And that was an 18, so that's not going to do it. So that's going to be a fly out to left field to end the 8th. So we go to the 9th. Reds holding a 4-1 lead. Will McEnany is loosening in the bullpen. He will come in for the Reds in the 9th. But right now, we have the top of the 9th for Concepcion to face Sparky Lyle. We get a 3-6 for Lyle, and that's blank, so we go to Concepcion. That's a 5-4 for Concepcion. That's a ground ball to second. One away. Go back to the top of the order for Pete Rose. Pete Rose. 5-2 for Lyle. Wild pitch, but nobody's on, so it's a foul ball. 6-5. 6-5 is an error on a throw possibility. Pete Rose, 4-3. 4-3 is a star line 1, which is a G5, so we do check an error on the throw for Nettles. He's an E8. And that's a 9, I believe. Double check that. Yep, that's a 9, so he does barely make it. Almost an error there, but Chambliss saved him. Saved his bacon. It's a nice stretch. So there's 2 down from Ken Griffey. 1-6 is a strikeout chance. Griffey's an 8. However, you lose 3 from the stadium, makes him a 5, so that falls below the 7. So we go to Griffey's card. 5-3. Star line 2, that's a grounder to short. And the inning's over. So Sparky Lyle did what he needed to do, but Yankee batters are not able to do what they need to do. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, and new pitcher on for the Reds is the left-hander Will McEnany. So Will McEnany is loosening, and Raleigh Eastwood's right behind him in the bullpen just in case. Let's top of the order, Mickey Rivers. So McEnany is in, and he'll be facing Mickey Rivers, top of the order. Protecting a 4-1 lead. It's a 2-3, and that is blank for McEnany. Go to Rivers. 5-1 is a question mark 9, but that's a 20. You need to be a 17 or less to get a hit. The 20 makes it a fly ball to right field. One away. Reds 2 outs away from sweeping the series. Roy White. 4-2 is a range play at the stadium. 6-6 is a G4, and that's going to take care of Roy White. So maybe appropriately, I don't know, the last out could possibly be the captain, Thurman Munson. 3-2. 3-2 is a walk possibility against a right-hander. He walks as a 6. You lose 2, makes it a 4. But that is a 4. I'm sorry, he's facing a lefty, so it's a 4. You lose 2, it's a 2, so he does not walk. He would have walked against Nolan, but not McEnany. So he's got to earn it. It's 2-4, and that's a fly to center. That's the ball game. So that's going to do it. The Reds win it 4-1. Johnny Bench, his grand salami home run, was the difference in the ball game. So there you go. Hero of the game. Mr. JB, Johnny Bench, didn't have the best year in 76, 234, but he came through in the playoffs, and he did it here. So that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody enjoyed that presentation of inside pitch baseball. And for the veteran inside pitch players out there, please let me know if I made a mistake. I won't take offense to anything. I'm trying to learn, so sometimes you only learn by making mistakes. So please let me know, and I will see about tightening things up. So that's going to do it here from Yankee Stadium. Final score, Reds 4, Yankees 1. Reds sweep the series. History repeats itself. And that's going to do it. So hopefully you have a great day playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.